Hi, I'm Zsolt Eder, and I teach violin and viola at Washburn University. And we'll be talking about the KMEA excerpts for the year 2023. All right, so in this excerpt, we want to make sure that the tempo is really flowing. I like the 72 metronome marking for the eighth note. A lot of people have the tendency to play this excerpt too slow. Another thing to keep in mind, we have these really long slurs in the music, and obviously we can't play all of it under one bow, so we do need to split up the bow, usually by the beat, but we want to make sure that our playing is really legato and smooth and connected. It's really such a beautiful, long melody. Another thing to watch out for, make sure you keep your vibrato really consistent and really connect the vibrato in between each note. I'll say there's a performance tradition in measure 21 to pick up the tempo a little bit because the character changes. So it goes just a tiny bit brisker there. Every time I've played it with orchestra, it's been that way. Brahms doesn't always write in all these little subtle changes, but we just need to move the tempo there a little bit. At 21, when we start the forte, it should be quite marcato, a little bit punchy on the notes, sort of accented. It's a very sort of serious character. Each note is very important on that. All right, that was the Tchaikovsky excerpt. Very important to be very precise rhythmically on this one. I always practice this one with the metronome. Put the metronome at 108 like it's marked. I think it seems to me that they forgot to put the dynamic in the KMEA music. I went back and checked the score. It should actually be mezzo piano through this whole excerpt, except for bar 33, where it's pianissimo for those patterns, and then it goes back to mezzo piano, pick up to 37. So we want to be really light on the bow stroke. If you can get it a little bit off the string, we want to be definitely at the balance point of the bow. We don't need to use a lot of bow, but see if you can get it a little bit off the string, just a tiny bit to give it that articulation and lightness that it needs. That type of bow stroke. You see I'm not using a lot of bow at all, and the dynamic really doesn't change except for those few measures in the beginning. But this is definitely one to practice with the metronome. All right, very exciting excerpt, this one. It begins right in one of the most intense sections of the first movement. So in this one, we really want to show intensity and power and volume in the sound without getting aggressive or a brittle sound. The character is very marcato, definitely sort of very straight tempo-wise. I always practice this one with a metronome. And we want to sort of almost give each bow change a little bit of an accent to create that marcato, intense character. I'm pretty much staying at the balance point of the bow where I get the most control and power, and I'm digging very much into the string as I'm playing all of these. I would say whenever you have separate 16th notes, like in measure 5, 6, and 7, I'm playing those very much on the string to get more sound. And in measure 8 and 9, you want to make sure that the dotted rhythm, you keep that separation all the way through. Tan, ta-tan, ta-tan, ta-tam. What I'm doing there is I'm stopping the bow in the middle of each pattern. Gives me a chance to grab the string again and give the 16th note a little bit more articulation on that. So that's the Shostakovich excerpt. Thank you for watching my video. My name is Zsolt Eder, and I teach violin and viola at Washburn University. If you would like to get in touch with questions, feel free to email me or get in touch with me. The information is at the bottom of this video in the description section. I do like questions, so don't hesitate to reach out and get in touch.